Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Team Building with Zooch, where I take a live guest and team build with them for a matchup, and then afterwards, I'll go ahead and watch the replay and talk about the game and how the team went and everything else. So, without further ado, we have our guest Hunky with us here today. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on? How you doing today, man? Good.
Yeah, I'm getting excited.
Excited for this game. See, we got a fun team here on your side.
Oh yeah,
So this is just standard Paldea Terra
yeah,
preview, right? Nothing crazy. All right, cool.
yeah. Wi-Fi, Paldea.
Wi-Fi. I know. I think not the last one, but the one before that was also a Wi-Fi game actually. So
Ooh,
yeah, pretty interesting for sure. This is just a random
yeah,
week in the league, right? Like how you doing so
yeah.
far?
Yeah, all my leagues are coincidentally like in the middle of the season,
Oh
so I took the Wi-Fi one since
yeah,
I need to get your shit up.
gotcha. How you doing in this league?
I'm 2-1 right now. My
2-1.
opponent is 3-0.
Dang. Okay, another undefeated person. Yeah, I mean, looking at his team, man, his team is super strong. Like his first two, and then Blood, Nape, Thunderous. Like it's just hella offense, man. So I mean, but that's just pretty much how it goes this gen. So it's not really surprising, but it's a really strong team. Um, Now your side, you have the Sun Core, of course. So, um, I mean, the first thing that kind of like sticks out. I mean, I don't want to scare you, but I do think just at first glance, at least, I think he has definitely a little bit of a better matchup here. His offense does seem pretty crazy. Your Walking Wake does seem really, really strong though. Um, his obvious check to wake is going to be that Empoleon. It just makes a lot of sense to resist both the stabs. I mean, obviously you can Terra to electric, fighting, or ground, and I definitely think we're going to be doing one of those because, I mean, outside of Empoleon, like there's just it doesn't really have a lot for Walking Wake, especially in the sun. His water resists are, well, Bruxish doesn't count, so it's really just these two guys. But you can obviously Dragon move the moon, so this is a pretty obvious Empoleon check in this matchup. So we can definitely build to take that on. Um, as far as like hazards go, for example, like he only has toxic spikes. He doesn't have regular spikes, right? I don't believe.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, so he just has toxic spikes from wheezing, which I don't think that's gonna come, but it could, because your
Oh,
poison is
Spidops.
small.
Spidops.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Listen,
So,
if Spidos makes an appearance, that's a win for us. Okay, he can get up Sticky Web, he can get up Toxic Spike, still a win for us. There's he's starting at 5 or 6. So, um, but yeah, his only removal is actually Wheezing too, so which is Defog looks like. So I don't know if he's gonna bring Toxic Spike himself, because we do have Spikers on our side of the field, so he might want to bring Wheezing for Defog. But so I definitely think maybe even Toxic Spike from our side of the field too, because his poison is Wheezing, which is probably not going to be on the ground, right? So Toxic Spike is not bad actually here versus a lot of his threats. So unless they could bring Terra Poison Necrozma if they're scared of Toxic Spike. And actually, at first glance, like Poison could be annoying because Poison does kind of shut down Meowscarada, does resist kind of this guy too. What's this guy called? Slithering.
yeah,
So Poison actually might actually even be their type here, looking at the rest of your team. So yeah, even that's interesting. So, but I mean, I think we just start with Wake here, just to start off the team. I think you're gonna probably bring this guy every game. I mean,
yeah.
even maybe without Ninetales potentially, like I still think Wake is a pretty strong Pokemon. Let's bring it regardless. Um, but what do you think for Terra types here for Wake?
Terra types, well, like you said, poison seems pretty strong. I can also see Terra Fairy. I think Fairy spam is like pretty solid into my team. I think I also do have a pretty sneaky electric weakness because it's really just treads
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Meowscarada, I guess, but
Yeah.
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 But maybe like something to capitalize off the Sun too, so like Terrifier.
Yeah.
That's a little bit less likely into the Wake matchup.
Yeah. And then, so for Wake, what do you think is like for your Walking Wake?
So 2 out of 3 weeks I've just been spamming water offense.
Yeah.
And then for the Screamtail matchup
E-
went Ghost.
Yeah.
But for here, since there is an Empoleon,
Yeah, I don't think
and
water is the play here, no.
yeah, water is not the play at all.
Mm-mm.
I didn't maybe to be honest, I have no idea. I think we just workshop it as we go. Maybe I ate something to beat the Empoleon. Otherwise, I can like see Fairy. I can see I pretty much just like Fairy. I guess Flying and Ice might be an option just because Ice in particular seems pretty solid too with like Wake Stabs. Ice, there's pretty much no switches outside of Empoleon.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So yeah,
yeah,
with ice, so you pretty much said obviously that just makes you like kind of even more kind of walled by Empoleon. Obviously, we can potentially run flip turn too, so it's not like if we know Empoleon's coming, like, we can still like capitalize on it. The problem with like ice though, for example, is um, there are two forms of priority is fighting, so
yeah.
that would kind of suck for being ice type and just getting revenge by priority. So um, I honestly I think I like ground here. Ground looks really strong for a couple of reasons. One is obviously it is, you're gonna, if you run Tower Blast, you do have something super effective to hit the Empoleon. Two, if you look at his team, the only thing faster than Wake is Roaring Moon. And so if you're Terra Ground, and like you can still, obviously you probably have like Hydro Steam, Terra Blast, and then a Dragon move for Roaring Moon. Um, if you're full health and let's say you just KO something, he can't. Well, he can, but he can bring in Roaring Moon. But the problem is, like, if you're a ground type, he can't. There's like nothing he could do just to one shot you. You have to be like probably like banded and then booster with the sun as well, like outrage or something to kill you. So it does make it pretty hard for him to revenge you because the things that hit the ground type is Empoleon, which again you're faster. Your Hydro Steam into a Terra Blast ground probably will kill Empoleon. Um, Unless it's like Max Bedef, like Assault Vest or something. If it's Assault Vest, no, it will not kill you. Um, but you would know if it's Assault Vest based off of the first Hydro Steam damage when you hit him. And if it's Assault Vest and you don't kill with the Terra Blast the following turn, you're going to switch because you don't want to go into a ground type, hit him, but then don't kill him and then he gets a Torrent boosted like hit on you. Like that would just suck. So the calc is your friend here. You need to see if it is Assault Vest or not right away. It's not going to be Shuka Berry, so that's not something I would worry about. It's probably going to be either lefties, Citrus, or Assault Vest. It really makes sense. I mean, it might not be Assault Vest because, Wake can be physical with Dragon Dance. It's not as popular. It's not as strong. But it's just feeling out the item for Empoleon. And also ground because, like you said, Thunderous is, like pretty nice here into your team. Like your Volt Switch immunity is this guy, but you drop to a Focus Blast, and he's gonna have Focus Blast. I think he's gonna only have, like electric coverage, Focus Blast, and then maybe Psychic if he wants to hit this guy. He doesn't even really need it though, and then maybe just Volt Switch as the last or Next Fly or something. I think if you're Terra Ground Walking Wake, he's not gonna have like a move to hit you like insanely hard. Like he's not gonna have grass coverage on the Thunderous. So I really think the only way he's gonna be able to hit you like super effectively is through Empoleon, which again we're trying to beat here with this Terra Ground Terra Blast anyway. So I like ground. And again, you're not weak to the stabs at least. I mean, you don't resist it, but you're not weak to it. Electric is kind of the same deal, but the problem is with electric is there's things like, like Blood Moon. Blood Moon is super tanky. Like he hits really hard, but also he's pretty tanky. So, and he could be Calm Mind and all that jazz. So it would just suck if like he's able to hit you if you're Terra Electric with a ground move and kill you. But honestly, electric isn't the worst either. I think it's between electric and ground. It's just, I think it really just comes down to like another Volt Switch immunity compared to a resist. But either way, I think it's honestly a personal preference for ground and electric for the best type here. We're gonna round out the rest of our team too and kind of see maybe one of them is better than the other based off what other monsters we have. But I think at first glance, yeah, it's definitely ground or electric because if your Wake kills Empoleon, like every time Wake comes in, if the sun is up, it should really be killing something. Like, there's not much else he could do on this team. It would just be Assault Vest and Empoleon, so that's like the only check, really. Sorry, I talked a lot there.
No, yeah, no worries. Yeah, I like this. I didn't want to interrupt or anything, but yeah, definitely, ground spam was something, or just like the immunity itself was really nice here, especially for blocking the Thunders' Volt Switches. I could definitely see that being a problem because, like I said before, electrics are really good against this team. When something is like a wall breaker, like on the, it's gonna like make a lot of progress to position something.
Yeah,
like
makes sense.
Or
yeah. And yeah, and I can easily see again the Thunders having Volt Switch over U-turn. So I'm not saying, you know, go hard into the Terra Ground Wake on the Thunders, because if he hits you with just like Focus Blast or something, it's gonna do a lot. But it is an option, and it does make him have to kind of think about clicking Volt Switch or an electric move, because if you do get that play right and you get in Walking Wake versus Thunders on the electric move, like bam, you're faster, you threaten a KO with Hydro Steam. So he's gotta really think twice about that if Thunders does end up coming. So you know, Terra Ground or Terra Electric doesn't really matter. I think the set is probably the same anyways, which is going to be just Hydro Steam, Dragon. So you can go Dragon Pulse or Draco Meteor. I'm not sure if you have a preference.
I usually go with Draco if I'm locked into specs, which was basically I've been bringing specs to my past 3 weeks.
Okay.
But for the matchups and like versus Empoleon, probably need something.
Yeah, I don't think specs is the play here again, just because Empoleon. So as far as, so I'm thinking Dragon move, and then we're gonna run Terra Blast for whatever we go, and then just Flip Turn. I think Flip Turn is really standard fine here, because again, it's the reason why Flip Turn is good is because when you steam into the Empoleon, if you, again, this is why Calc is so important, if you see that you do not KO with the Terra Blast, just Flip Turn, and then next time it'll be in range. So plus, you know, he can't double on you because you're Flip Turning, so you'll know if he switches. So I don't really think, the only other like kind of move I think would make sense here is you could do both Dragon Pulse and Draco if you want to, you know, just have both in case you don't have to risk a miss or in case you need the extra damage. And really just maybe Aqua Jet, because, you know, he does have a couple Pokemon weak to water, which could catch him off guard. But ideally, you're probably going to want the sun up this game, so it would be weakened if the sun is up. So I think it's between Turn Jet or double Dragon move. I don't really think clicking any other move is ideal here. Sub doesn't really make a lot of sense here because he could just be Scale Shot. It goes right past it.
Yeah, I'm like kind of scared to bring Sun into this matchup. So.
Yeah, I know, because the stupid Roaring Moon. I know, it sucks. But is it the only booster he has? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only simple.
I guess
yeah.
Infernape could be a little bit of an issue. But...
That too, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that does kind of suck that you're playing against Moon, but it is what it is. But yeah, what do you think for the last slot? Do you have a preference, or?
Yeah, I think I prefer Flip Turn for
Flip Turn? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Again, you're mainly going to be clicking your 3 attacks here. It's just, Flip Turn is literally just for, you know, if you're not KOing something, but you know you're faster, like, you know, you just Flip Turn for some chip and then make sure they don't double switch. I do think booster speed is better than booster special attack here, just so again you outpace everything, scarfed anything besides besides Moon. That's it. Yeah. And so because of that, I think we're gonna make sure we have, well, we're gonna at least try to have some sort of Roaring Moon switch in at least to start. That guy is really strong, especially in the sun. So especially if he's acrobatics, like, might not really be a switch in, but we'll try to come up with something here. So if we're gonna be booster speed, we're gonna want to just speed creep the Infernape, which is literally almost max, and then just something like that would be booster speed. So almost still full special attack. I think because we're not specs, like, do you want just Dragon Pulse?
Yeah, I think the feeling Dragon Pulse.
Yeah, Roaring Moon does have good Spidef though. Yeah. So I kind of want to see the Dragon Pulse calc versus, look at, they have them both on there, versus Roaring Moon. So after some chip, you know, it'll do a decent chunk. Is he gonna have? He's gonna have bulk though, because he's gonna be speed creeping you. So he'll probably have about like. He's speed creeping you. He'll have about 80 HP. It looks like. So Draco would always kill it. And you know, with flip turn, at least if you do Draco and he predicts that and switches and you get a -2 drop, you can just flip turn. It's not the end of the world. And if he does go into an immunity like this, okay, you just Hydro Steam at the next turn. It's whatever, you know. So I would probably go Draco here. You know, if you miss, you can blame Hacks. That is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, definitely ensuring the KO on Moon could be very important. So something that he could do as well. So if he, let's say like you're in versus the Sun, right, and he brings in Moon and he shows booster attack. You know, make sure you know it's on Story Scarfed at least, because you don't want to just get caught off guard. If it's booster speed, it's obviously gonna be faster than you. So, you know, you could, if it's later in the game, you could make an aggressive play and just stay in to make sure he doesn't set up and get aggressive on you. But if it's pretty early on in the game, it's probably better to just pivot out and see kind of what he wants to do. I think if he's poison, I mean, I think, dude, he has a lot of setup Pokemon. I think if it's poison Necrozma, which again, it looks really nice because it does check Meow and Slither, and that does absorb Toxic Spike. It's probably going to be more defensive, Necrozma. I think if it's, you know, a different typing, maybe like Fire or Fairy or something, or Electric even, it'll probably be offensive setup. So, but Poison does make a lot of sense here. So, especially because after one like Dragon Dance or something, it'll just KO the Steel type anyway, because it's got Heat Wave. So, that's just something to take note of. Item on this guy, you do have 3 different types of attacks. So, Expert Belt sticks out.
Yeah, I was thinking like something like Life Orb or Expert Belt.
Like,
maybe
yeah.
Just to preserve the health as much as
Health, yeah. We can check with Expert Belt how much we're doing to something like Empoleon real quick. This is Walking Wake, so let's see, Expert Belt. So we'd be Steam. We don't need a Fire move, right, into his team?
I don't think so.
No, there's only Fiery Pokemon as Spite Ups, actually. What the heck? Okay, yeah, we don't need a Fire move. Steam, Draco, Flamethrower, Terra, Blast would be our set. Let's just say we're Ground. Ground. Okay, so let's check Empoleon. Max Spidef in the Sun. So it does look like if it's Max Spidef, one Steam into Blast will not kill him, but the next time it will. So you would just Steam, Flip Turn, and then Steam into Blast to kill it. If it's Assault Vest, no, it's still pretty similar, especially if you have a Hazard up. 13%. Oh wait, I don't have Flip Turn. Let me check Flip Turn. Okay, well, like 13 into 4, 17, another 13. It'll be close. If it's Assault Vest, it might definitely take a little bit. That's why I'm thinking potentially Spikes on Meow might be nice here. Yeah, I do think Spikes, because it does hit again everything besides Wheezing and Thundurus, and you know, he might have Defog, he might not, but honestly, if you're a ground type, that's another thing too. If you're a ground type, and you do have hazards up, if we do go the hazard route and Wheezing is in, like you could just straight up go hard into this guy on a predicted Defog, because even if you get the play wrong, you're not gonna get you're not gonna get punished. The worst case scenario is him just sledge bombing you and he gets a poison, but you'd be ground type anyway, so you're not gonna take a lot. All that, so you can kind of play aggressive, you know, predicting his defog if you do manage to get up the hazards. So that's something to take note of. So speaking of that, we definitely, I think Meow is really nice here. It does suck because we did mention the double fighting priority, but so it's definitely not going to be like, you know, killing a lot of Pokemon in this game. It doesn't look like, especially with you using there too. But I think because it outspeeds everything, it's very easy for this guy to get up the hazards.
Right.
So
like Spikes, U-turn,
yep,
knock off, and then like
yep. Very good. Spikes, knock, U-turn. Um, you you could also run taunt here as the last slot. Taunt again. Taunt would be there just to kind of. We would probably lead this guy with Sash. I had to guess. Did they change the way Masquerado looks? By the way, I think they did, right?
Yeah.
It used to have like a little. It used to be like sideways, right? Like pose.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I didn't even know that. I didn't even
Yeah.
know
What the heck?
that.
It's got the flower there. But I'm thinking this would probably be a lead set if we're gonna try to get up the spike. So with probably Focus Sash, if I had to guess. So I'm thinking maybe taunt, just because if they lead something like Necrozma or something like, I don't even know, maybe they wouldn't lead Empoleon. I don't think so. Their Stealth Rockers are Necro, Empo, Ape.
If they lead Moon Knight, just U-turn in their face, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I like Scale Shot.
Yeah, I mean, raw Scale Shot would be kind of crazy, but they can.
Like random multi-hit moves to break the potential.
Yeah,
Sash, but yeah, it is pretty.
They would have to be Scarf Scale Shot though to outspeed you turn one anyway. So
yeah,
that would be crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah.
I don't think that's coming.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, like, definitely not Spy. That's like just like raw switch out.
Yeah. All right. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Do you want taunt or do you need something else here?
I was thinking like either taunt or like just another offensive move like triple axle, low kick, or I kind of feeling taunt a little bit more, play a little bit more defensively with this meow.
Yeah. So like. Right, so like I'm thinking of like, so you think of knockoff, like what are the switch-ins to knockoff? It's, it's this guy, but you just U-turn. It's Wheezing, but there's nothing we can run to even do like a third to Wheezing. Like it literally just pretty much walls us. Same thing with the Vernape.
Really good thing forcing the Wheezing in to bring in Wake.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah. Again, Vernape, same thing, resist knockoff, but Meowscarada does not get anything to really deal with it. So, and then knockoff hits everything else. So I don't really think we need another. So I'm thinking either taunt, toxic spike, for the crazy chance that maybe Wheezing just doesn't show up. Because if Wheezing doesn't show, then once you get out of toxic spike, it's there to stay unless this guy is Terra Poison. And if he is Terra Poison, then and we run toxic spike, then I wouldn't bother pretty much clicking it. I mean, you can, but he's probably gonna try to get that Terra off immediately. So I would say it's between toxic spike or taunt though. Taunt again is just there, even if you're sacking your Meow, at least you prevent a defog or a setup or something. But it's really like a last kind of ditch thing if you're about to die and you just want to click it to stop something. I really think you're going to be just clicking these three moves for the most part. You're probably not going to get a lot of clicks off with Meowscarada, to be honest. I mean, you're faster than everything, but obviously once you take a hit, like you're gonna pretty much die probably. So
I think I'm feeling taunt, to be honest.
You can also taunt. Don't forget, you can also taunt Empoleon if it does have Roost. So if it's not Assault Vest, don't forget you can taunt him too. I mean, even like, let's say it's like 60% or something, like even just making sure it doesn't Roost there, and let's say he scalds and you get burned, it's still worth to keep him low for your wake. So if spikes are up, then Meowscarada pretty much does his job here, in my opinion, in this matchup. Yeah, we want Protean too. So yeah, we can go with taunt here. I think taunt's really solid. Don't forget about taunt. A lot of people don't realize like taunt's there. Click it. But yeah, we're gonna run Focus Sash, and I mean this is just the easiest. Spread is just outspeeding. Moonhead's 370, I think, right?
Yeah, it's 370.
370. So just something like that. And then yeah, that's a pretty solid lead. So do we want Ninetales to set our Sun, or are you going to try to set that manually? Have you set Sun manually yet, or just use Ninetales?
No, I haven't. I just didn't bring Ninetales into the Tusk Green Tail Iron Lock matchup.
Okay. Yeah. Smart.
But
Smart
at the
idea.
time,
Yeah.
yeah, I just probably drew out regular.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm trying to think. Like Ninetales, like doesn't really look like. I mean, there's only fire resist. He only has 2. It's Infernape and Moon. Does Ninetales get like some weird fairy move like Dazzling Gleam or something?
It doesn't. I'm pretty
No.
sure. It does
No.
get Encore if the wrong moon wants to set up in my face. Or I guess I can wisp it too.
Yep, that's true. I get
The
Scorching.
I guess, yeah, Scorching Sands might be good for it.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm really to bring Ninetales into the Ori Moon matchup, but with just the amount of progress you can make is good.
Yeah, let's okay. So instead of before we put Ninetales, if we put on the team, let's try and think of what are we gonna do about Moon once it hits the field.
I was thinking like maybe since there's a lot of sub threats, maybe like a red card Mimikyu might be nice.
Yeah, that's definitely an option. And Mimikyu's nice too because it can always revenge it. It can't like scale shot and just break past your disguise. I wonder, is it gonna have Iron Head this matchup? It's probably gonna have Acro, so like probably knock Acro. Knock Acro. Maybe Earthquake. Could have Earthquake for I guess the random this guy and treads. So all that. Yeah, I'm thinking Moon's probably gonna be a Scarf variant if I had to take a guess here. Just to have that speed, just speed to revenge this guy. Cause like, I feel like a DD variant, it needs a lot of moves to kind of want to kill everything. But I mean, I don't know if it's booster attack, and then like also DD, like it's just gonna hit hella hard. You could also do like defensive Uxie with the Culver Berry, so like Uxie's like it'll live anything, like it's stupid mon. Let's check.
I love Uxie.
Yeah, I know.
So are you thinking like I status it, I encore it into like something?
Yeah. Either. Yeah, you could run something like Thunder Wave too, but it would suck to have him just go Blood Moon on you and you kind of get screwed. So we would obviously be Culver Berry if we bring this Uxie. So yeah, this is banded Outrage. What about in the sun? For like booster attack. Yeah, I mean that's literally banded booster attack. Like that's worst case scenario. So you'll always live, and he's not gonna just raw Outrage. Like it just doesn't make sense, especially if Mimikyu is there. So we could run Fizdef Uxie. Fizdef Uxie also helps with potential Infernape. Zangoose if it wants to make an appearance. And if the Necrozma does go poison like we think it might go, it is check to that too. So, and it's a wrecker. Like again, hazards are pretty good versus this team. So I do think that's a good set to bring here. I know it's definitely kind of weird like having a psychic type be our Moon switch in, but especially because it could also U-turn. That's another thing too, like when it U-turns, because I'm sure it'll have U-turn if it's locked, make sure you cop the damage to it so it's not boosting.
Okay.
How much does, let me see how much Scarf U-turn does to Uxie.
Okay, it does
about 30. Oh, this is not, I mean, yeah, but it's about 30. So you should know. And then I still think you would probably live one more attack with the Culver Berry. So, I mean, I think Scarf, even though it's like more annoying, like it's definitely at least easier to handle. It's like it's not gonna just set up and win the game at least on yours from his side of the field. So if we run this Uxie, we need rocks for sure. Probably need a psychic move.
I'm thinking Psychic Knowing just in case they want to make the Spadef and Poleon switch in. I can like at least force it to not roost top.
Yeah, same thing with Blood Moon too. They can't moon that on you,
right.
At least, so that's good. Psychic Noise, I think U-turn and Encore, I just think are the best.
Oh yeah, dude.
Slots.
I love Encore. Best move ever.
Yeah. Like again, it just stops things from setting up on you or roosting on you. And then U-turn, again, you want to U-turn because, something like Sableye is going to switch in, or Empoleon is probably going to switch in. So just U-turning on them coming in is really solid. But yeah, I do think you're going to be taking a lot of potential U-turns from like Infernape or Ape or Moon, or yeah. So Fizdef is probably the way to go here. I think we can, we could run Relax if you want the U-turn to not be weakened. I don't know if our speed is going to make a huge deal here. They're probably not going to, they're probably going to creep faster than min-speed Uxie anyway. So,
yeah,
right, this makes sense. So I think Relax is okay here. Something like that, I think it's fine. Again, even if they don't, even if they don't set up, at least just encoring, you'll always be safe to at least know they're locked into whatever they go for, even if Uxie goes down, so you could make a switch later on. So, yeah, I think this is solid here. Again, so like this is our Uxie or Aurora Moon switch in, but it doesn't. Basically, all this thing is gonna do is it's gonna slow U-turn. So, let's say we bring in Uxie and they Dragon Dance. You have a decision to make. Are you gonna slow U-turn or are you gonna encore? What do you think would be ideal?
probably encore.
Yeah, exactly. Because if he just DDs again, and that would be absolutely crazy if they do, because you could obviously threaten like a Thunder Wave or something. But if that does happen, like you might just straight up lose the game. So encoring is definitely safe. And then you could switch again, like I said, after accordingly. So we have 3 slots left. Definitely like Mimikyu to come here. Rotom is obviously always good. Rotom is not bad because you can kind of double up with your Wake if you want to even run like offensive. Problem is, again, if you're in the sun, your Hydro Pumps are gonna not be as strong. Yeah, so we could also just go like we said, like a benching Ninetales angles, and we could probably have Sunny Day on one of our last guys just to have it so we can kind of control the weather. I'm trying to think, is there an angle where we just don't bring Sun? That severely weakens our Walking Awake, though. I think Walking Awake is our best guy in this matchup by far.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe like if we do bring Ninetales, and then we have to bring Mimikyu just so we have another switch into our Aurora Moon, and then that just leaves us with 1 slot to deal with like the rest of the stuff this team hasn't found.
Yeah, that's honestly probably what I'm thinking too. That's good, because like when we were talking about Ninetales too, like, and they don't really have great fire switch-ins. It's just Infernape and Moon, so we could run a lot of utility on this guy with like Healing Wish or Encore or
I kind of like
Hypnosis.
Hypnosis. Oh god.
Yeah, Hypnosis. Everyone loves Hypnosis. I know. What's their switch into Ninetales? I mean, their switch into Ninetales does seems like it would be Moon, right? It makes a lot of sense. But you can Will-O-Wisp though.
How much does Spadef Empoleon take from like Scorching Sands?
The fire move might actually just be stronger in the sun, actually, but we'll check
yeah,
both.
True.
So this is Weather Ball. Yeah.
Way stronger.
Yeah, this is the water move. I mean, let's say we run like Flamethrower instead, just to. But yeah, it's still stronger. So I mean, it does about a quarter, so it's not bad.
Definitely puts it in range of like a Hydra onto.
Yeah. Yeah, and even in the sun, like, what does Empoleon even do back to you? It's not gonna do a ton. So, that's definitely not bad. Let's see, how's the speed? I mean, it's faster too than everything with 3 Pokemon.
Okay, so like definitely fire move 1. Maybe do I need to decide between like a Wisp and Encore, so I can have like Baton Pass and random coverage move in the last slot. Probably.
Well, I definitely like. I like healing. Nah, not even like healing wish is always solid, but it's kind of hard to. I mean, you could healing wish into walking away again because ideally, like the sun is up when you healing wish. Like you bring it in,
Right.
the sun is up, so then you have 7 turns or whatever with wake still. So that's a possibility. I don't necessarily think you need another coverage move here because again, you don't. There's nothing to hit Moon with, and Infernape. Let's see how much more like it does. It doesn't do like a ton more. So
yeah, true.
I think just solid flamethrower is okay. And then it just becomes, I think you have to pick between 4 moves of the last slots, which is Encore, Encore, Healing Wish, Will-O-Wisp, and Hypnosis. I mean, Hypnosis is kind of like a gamble. It can definitely pay off, but it can also definitely bite you in the butt. I think you would never really Hypnosis, though.
I think I would always want to Encore over Hypnosis whenever I want to Hypnosis something. Like, basically anything that wants to set up in front of.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of leading Encore Wisp Healing Wish.
Encore Wisp Healing Wish. That's definitely a fine set. So I think the big thing is going to be kind of deciding when you're going to... Oh, you can also do Baton Pass as well. But yeah. I think you're probably going to ideally want to just Wisp the first time this guy is in. I really don't... don't get me wrong, Infernape could switch in, especially if it's more bulky and it's like rocks or something. Like this is the target probably to get rocks up.
He ran bulky Infernape in matches before. So
he has. Yeah. I don't really know. I mean, it would probably be for Meowscarada, I suppose. I don't think it could really tank on Slitherwing. I think CSC would probably still annihilate that thing. But I mean, I just think there's a full wheezing anyway for Meowscarada. He doesn't need Infernape for it, and a poison Necrozma potentially. So it's like, I don't think his like the bulky Infernape comes.
Yeah. If anything, it's probably gonna be offensive to capitalize off. So.
Yeah, right. So, I think Wisping is really nice. You can, especially if you do manage to catch the Moon. I don't really know what else he's going to switch in onto Ninetales. Like, again, those are the only 2 fire resists, so.
Yeah.
And in the sun, like.
For Wake to come in.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, in the sun, like, fire moves are going to hurt, so. Yeah, and again, Encore is just a good fail-safe, just to kind of be safe, It kind of makes it so you're never like in danger of just straight up losing to a setup set if if you click the move. But this type of set, this guy is not very bulky really, so he's not going to be taking much hits. So again, I think it's more just pretty much making sure you're faster than Proxius, I suppose. And this is recommending Svidef, which is crazy. I mean, can Ninetales really like check anything? Does it get Morning Sun? It does, right?
You don't remember.
Oh, it doesn't actually. What the heck? Never mind.
Oh.
Never mind. I thought it did. What the heck?
Mark's looking nice.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you're just gonna be pretty offensive, and don't be afraid to like. Let's say Ninetales was in early, and you got the sun up, and then you got Walking Wake in for a couple turns, and then like let's say Necrozma hasn't hit the field yet because like it's a setup variant holding in the back. Like, and your Uxie is like dead. Don't be afraid to just throw the Ninetales in once Necrozma hits the field, because 1, you're getting the sun up at least, if anything, and then 2, if he sets up a Calm Mind or a Dragon Dance, you always have the threat of just encoring after, so he has to pretty much kill you. He can't continually, sub on you or set up on you. Now, if he does show DD, I know like when you switch in, Will-O-Wisp looks pretty enticing. But it would suck really, really bad if he subs or he's Lumberry.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, one of the two.
The thing
So
is,
yeah.
I remember on Wi-Fi I lost to. I don't know if this is a pattern just for like solely for my battles, but I brought Encore so many times at this point. I lost on the spot to a DD Mental Herb.
Oh,
Uh,
mental herb.
Mental
Yeah.
Herb. Yeah.
Yeah. Mental herb
So,
is yep. Yeah.
yeah, it's probably less common than Lon, so I'm still gonna Encore in front of its face, but he's I'm so scared. It's
No, yeah. Mental herb is definitely a good bring. If he definitely expects Encore. I mean, Uxie is pretty popular for having Encore. Ninetales
yeah.
not so much, so he could definitely tech something on for Uxie, especially if it's the Necrozma, because like Uxie at first is a pretty good switch into Necrozma to just slow you turn or Encore or Thunderwave or whatever. So if it is set up, but again, Uxie could also have Thunderwave, so it's like which one do you run, you know? So, but
Yeah.
if it is a setup Necrozma, you know, I do probably still think you just Encore if you had to pick between one. Um,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
if he has the mental herb, it is what it is. It's good prep, but I think it's more likely that he is Lum or something or sub over mental herb.
Yeah,
So
I guess it's another reason to bring Red Card Mimikyu just to have that emergency, but in this
yeah,
case, he is
yeah, for sure. So this is gonna
uh,
be just Heat Rock. I think is
Heat Rock.
obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brought Heat Rock all to 3 times at one point.
yeah, that
Oh, I
makes
mean
sense.
2 times. And
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do Mimi. I think our last thought's probably gonna be Treads thinking at the team,
I was
but
thinking hands.
yeah. So yeah, I do like red card to kind of have another little protection versus team, because yeah, like I said, definitely building to like his team has the matchup here. It's not like your team is bad or anything, but he just has a good Pokemon into your Sun team. It is what it is. So, and we even like mentioned like, oh, what do we do versus like Blood Moon? Like,
Yeah, dude, I was about to say. What the fuck
yeah,
are we doing?
I know it's just like normal move just destroys us. So, you know, maybe we run something like Shuka on Treads just in case, so we could switch into the Blood Moon and then, you know, potentially take the Earth Power after. But Mimikyu is gonna have obviously Play Rough. What was this Play Rough? The Empo and the Weezing. So I mean, Shadow Claw hits both of those for neutral, so that's fine. So we're not completely walled, and then we could do a couple different things. Does this thing get Will-O-Wisp too?
I think it does.
Yeah, it does. I guess Thunder Wave too. Um, we have a couple different options with this guy. What do we want to run? Destiny Bond too.
Low key, I kind of fuck with Destiny Bond a little bit just to.
Yeah. Again,
I don't know how if I'll ever like have the balls to actually proc it off.
you definitely can, yeah. Because again, it is faster like the most of the team. So, especially if it's not like Endure Custap, like if you're just raw Destiny Bond, which I mean,
Yeah.
you'd have to get lucky for sure to. Well, no, Destiny Bond you could do it at any health, but I'm just saying if you are like Endure, like he would kind of think of Custap like
Yeah,
Destiny Bond. But if you're not any of that, he might just not just expect to just random Destiny Bond out of nowhere. How does it doesn't get anything to hit Weezing, huh? Like no psychic or steel move?
No, nothing like physical.
No.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Okay.
We just out of actually no, never mind. Stupid
What?
thing. I was
What,
going to
what,
say
what?
the interaction between neutralizing gas with this guy.
Oh. Well, I don't think. Does it actually? I don't even know now. I don't think it just does it. Does Mold Breaker bypasses it, right? I believe it does.
Oh wow, I have. Oh, disguise. I think so.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
neutralizing gas would work the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would just. I mean, it's
So
not. Yeah, Weezing's not gonna just kill you though. I don't think
Yeah,
through the
exactly.
through the thing. Psychic is crazy. 50 special attack. But Destiny Bond's cool. I like Destiny Bond because you're our faster. The things like I mean, the three like kind of offensive poke. The only thing that I could see Destiny Bond working against is Blood Moon, perhaps.
Yeah, I was primarily gonna be for Blondin because like for everything else, I can either like just pip it out or I can like attempt to kill outright.
Yeah.
By attempt, I mean, like just Moon. I don't know if Shadow Call is even gonna kill Necro for attack.
No, definitely not. And again, his most offensive Pokemon are faster anyway, so like Destiny Bond would like they would just go first, right, and just kill you.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the last slot should be. It could be a status move to be annoying. It could be sneak.
I feel so useless against the Blondin. Guess except for Wood Hammer, but even then, how much is that gonna do to
Blood Moon? I mean, that's not a bad idea. Let's check actually. Mimikyu.
I could definitely see, I could definitely see a Blood Moon holding a Resist Berry like Rinda or Pasha, depending on if they want.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be Rindo just because he has good checks to Meow, but Pasho makes a lot of sense for sure. Yeah. So I could see Pasho.
Or even like Chopo for Slitherwing.
That too, yeah. What's his Slitherwing check? I mean, Poison Necrozma just pretty much walls it.
Yeah, Poison, Fairy.
Yeah, you can get Heavy Slam for this guy, I suppose. Sableye could be annoying if you don't bug move, like he could just come in and Will-O-Wisp and Encore you. Yeah, he's got a couple of different options for Slithering, so but the water guys he struggles with, so yeah, I definitely think Pasho is if he's gonna be a fairy. What Hammer does have to no bulk. Max HP, it'll do about 40. So it's not bad, it does pretty much almost double than Play Rough. So I mean I don't know if you could see Sneak coming into play.
I guess it might be nice for like Dundee and Necro if it's that soft.
Yeah, Necro's probably gonna tear out of a weakness to Ghost, but it could be nice for Thunderous. Yep. I think.
Or I could just see fucking run screens Mimikyu to try to not get cooked by this Blood Moon.
Oh hell no! I think it's better probably off just to Wood Hammer into kill it with Wake or Ninetales or whatever else. It's probably better because it can't boost its defense unless it's like Keep Berry. I don't think it gets like Iron Defense, right? Trailblaze is interesting. Yeah, I think it's probably just Wood Hammer.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I wouldn't Wood Hammer like I would only Wood Hammer like if Luna is in versus you. I wouldn't just. You're probably gonna be. Yeah, you're probably gonna be clicking Shadow Claw because, you know, he has the pretty. If Weezing is there, he has the obvious like play rough like switching. It's gonna be this guy. So I would either just Shadow Claw, or make a double switch. Predicting Weezing.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, because even catching like if you have Wisp, even catching Weezing on a Wisp, it's not like it's nice, but it's not like you crippled the Weezing. Like it's gonna be probably special anyway. So I'd probably just go Wood Hammer for damage because our team, like I said, we don't really deal with blood the most. And I think again you're probably just gonna outspeed Bruxious if it comes. Like there's not really any point to running bulk, I don't think, on Mimikyu with 55 base HP, right? So this is this is gonna be a pretty offensive team. Treads might have some bulk, but yeah. So we would go what 312, 312.
Yeah, 312.
Yeah. Okay. So red card is it's gonna be mostly for. I mean you could just use it for a lot of things. You do have to remember Photon Geyser does ignore your disguise too, so you could get one shot. Yes, if it is set up.
Oh fuck! Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you just die to a +1 attack?
I mean, I could just bring in Yixi, I guess.
Yeah, you do die to a +1. Um, yeah, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, that's the thing. Like, okay, we have Uxie, we could just bring in Uxie, but then like that was supposed to be for initially for Moon. So you know, it's just like, ooh, I just punched my computer. Um,
Oh,
you know, we're gonna again we're gonna basically this team is gonna probably be so like Necrozma can't set up on anything, right? The only thing it looks like it can set up on at this point is actually the Mimikyu. Everything else has like Encore or Taunt or it's just faster and it does a lot of damage. So we're gonna be focusing on just not trying to let his guys just set up in the first place. Um, you know, there's another. Hmm, yeah, I don't know. Okay, we'll leave this stuff for now, and then we'll do the last slot, and then we'll see how the team looks and what's kind of still bothering us, if
maybe
anything.
Curse could be kind of shice.
Who?
Curse?
Curse on Mimikyu?
Yeah.
Oh god, with the because it's a ghost type.
Yeah.
Does that
With
doesn't break your own disguise, does it?
I assumed it didn't. If it does, then yeah, definitely do not attack on.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. What would you be cursing though?
I'm assuming like maybe like a bulky Blood Moon. I guess Wheezing too, but like I'm not worried about getting chipped on Wheezing. It's just mostly Blood Moon. I'm like maybe like too fixated on Blood Moon. Woodhammer is probably.
Yeah, I think Woodhammer is just okay. Like you're getting 50% on it, and he can't set up on you. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, if you let's say you Woodhammer and he's got some bulk, and let's say he takes like 40% or something. You know, you could pretty much just spam Woodhammer to keep him low, and you might get a crit. And you know, if not, again, he ends the exchange not setting up and like half health. So
Yeah.
you should be okay there. And then if he's trying to like Calm Mind like Calm Mind Moonlight on you over and over, you can also always just make a play into one of your Encore guys on a healing turn and just lock him. So. But I would probably do it a couple of times just to make sure he doesn't just attack on your switch and you just get blown back.
Yeah.
That suck. Yeah, so Treads here. Treads is nice here. Treads could have Rapid Spin. How does offensive Treads look? Stabilize annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Without Stabilize, Treads looks really actually good. Let's see what is there. Sableye can definitely come. The thing is, like, I would think Sableye comes if he plans to, like, hazard you, so he could block the spin. Because aside from Treads, like, I guess it's Treads and Slitherwing are kind of the two things that I can take well. But if you hit a, let's check the calculator. If you hit a bug move with Slitherwing into Sableye, does it just take a shitload? I don't even know. Maybe not. So this is not like proto at all.
Yeah.
Leech life, UP, right? 80%, 80 damage. Yeah, it's risky because if you just U-turn on the Sableye coming in, then you just go right into Wake and just click a water move. So maybe Sableye doesn't come unless he just really wants to block the spin. That's what I would imagine it comes for.
You can typically do anything to mount does it get like fairy coverage because it can't use like prankster stuff and
can it do anything to Meow, you said?
Yeah.
No, I think it would just probably S-Toss, so it would have it, or Nightshade or whatever. I mean, it might get something, but like, I don't think he's gonna run coverage, right? I think he's gonna, if he's gonna have it with Hug, it's just be knockoff. I don't think he's gonna have like Dazzling Gleam or something for it. Yeah, I just think knockoff makes the most sense. But that is something. If Sableye does come and he brings it in, you could go Meow on it and just get up more spikes. You know, you might risk your knockoff, but it's still easy. Or you could just knock off actually yourself if you want to get rid of an item. But yeah, it's kind of like an easy target to set up on. Set spikes up on at least. Okay, so what coverage? Let's see here. If we run Treads. Earthquake looks good. Obviously, needs a Steel move.
Ice Spinner really solid.
Yeah.
Stuff.
I think just stab Ice Spinner, right? good
Yeah.
here. Stab, ice spin, or rapid spin perhaps, or volt switch if you want to be like.
Ooh, no spin is a little rough, but the momentum is also really
Yeah,
solid.
I think it's probably rapid spin though, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I'm feeling rapid spin.
Yeah, we are running. Actually, we're actually running no boots here, so spin can definitely be important. The thing is, like, if you have spin, stab, and then ice spinner, and Sableye does come, then like you're never clicking rapid spin. Like, you have to know Sableye is the switch into this guy, especially if hazards are up. Maybe if hazards aren't up, then you might not bring Sableye because it doesn't get, or bring in Sableye because it doesn't have to block the spin. But if hazard's up, he's definitely bringing in. So that's the thing where it's like, okay, you probably have to double switch, which sucks because again, if hazards are up, you're double switching, taking more hazard chip, and then
I can also just like how Rod like try to go for just like a damage move since ground ice steel. It's a lot of things. How much does Sableye really take with versus Sableye?
From treads.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Oh shit.
Takes.
Okay, nice. Really underestimated Sableye's power.
Yeah, it takes almost half. This thing doesn't get. Doesn't.
It gets recovery. No.
Yes.
Sableye.
Yeah, Sableye gets recovery. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing like fairy fish too.
No.
Oh man, I wish ground fairy on something like treads.
Yeah, I mean you could if you want run Lumberry. So basically, what I'm thinking of Lumberry is you could. Oh wait, does Heavy Slam do more? Heavy Slam probably does more. Might be a 2-shot. Let's see. Yeah, it does do more. What I'm thinking is, so the only way like this set, so if you Heavy Slam, obviously you 2-shot him, right? The only way this doesn't work is if he is, obviously he can recover before you, but he would have to be helmet. So then like he can just recover spam and you would technically kill yourself to helmet. If he's boots or leftovers or whatever, you get the Heavy Slam on the switch, he only has 8 recovers, and you can crit and you do overlap anyway. So you just spam Heavy Slam. So the reason why I like Lumberry is he can't Will-O-Wisp you.
Yeah, I was about to say like
yeah,
Heavy Slam into Wisp into recovery.
Yeah, so he takes the Heavy Slam, he try to Wisp you, you heal it, and then you just 2-shot him with Heavy Slam. And you know, the Lumberry can also proc versus maybe a Will-O-Wisp on Weezing. It can proc on a Scald potentially on a, actually I don't know if Implant gets Scald. I don't think so. I think it's sort of, no. So it would just be between these two guys for a potential burn. So, but I definitely like that because if you get rid of the Sableye, then and then you manage to somehow get a Rapid Spin boost, like this guy actually looks pretty strong for just like doing a lot of damage to his team. So, this might be another just offensive Pokemon, but I mean, it just feels like that's the type of game like this is going to be. I feel like with the Sun team too, most of the time you are going to have probably just mostly offense. We're not really bringing we're only bringing one abuser, but I still think this is good. And again, don't forget about Healing Wish too. You can Healing Wish treads as well. So
yeah, I was definitely debating between Lum and Chopo. Because for I don't really have much of a Dundee switch in unless like I manage to tear out the Walking Wake in time.
That too. So you could go Assault Vest if you want as well. Assault Vest is an option. To kind of just cover like a couple of special things. Again, you are weak to the double priority. If they do bring the Mach in the Vacuum Wave.
Yeah. So I'm definitely like, it's rough. Like I have to choose between or the doing the safe line.
I'm thinking maybe Assault Vest might be just a bit better. And you know what?
Blast.
Yeah, exactly. And if the Sableye comes, like we said, if Meowscarada isn't just like dead immediately, at least when Sableye hits the field, you technically get a free Meowscarada, and then you can click Knock or Spike. If the If the Sableye is boots, you might want to just click knock off and hope he lets you knock it off.
Mm-hmm.
But at the very least, yeah, you'll be getting at least another spike up if Meowscarada is alive when Sableye hits the field. So, and I mean, you have like Ninetales does a lot to Sableye. Mimikyu, again, if it has Will-O-Wisp, you're not going to be doing anything.
I'm
But
really curious now if like the 6 he brings, like Sableye, would he really bring Sableye if like Dundee is really good and like the top 6, basically?
I
Are...
think, yeah, I think top 5 probably come.
Hmm.
And then I think the last slot is between Nape, Thundee, and
Sableye.
Yeah, I think that's the 6. You know, there's a world where he doesn't bring Weezing, instead he does bring Sableye. So like these reverse, and then
yeah, true.
you know, he brings Ape or Dundee as the last. But you know, Weezing is really solid into Slitherwing, into Mimikyu, Meowscarada, like, even Braviary if you like thought about bringing it. Like, so I don't know, it's hard to tell. But yeah, I definitely think these 4 are coming. I think they're just pretty much too good. Maybe he doesn't bring Blood Moon because he's scared of double water plus offensive grass plus fight. Like a lot of your main offensive dudes, even Braviary gets close combat. So there's a world where actually Blood Moon doesn't show up here.
That would be great.
yeah, I could see him kind of being scared, but I wouldn't like bank on it or anything. No.
Yeah.
But no, I like a Solvest here potentially, like we said. So then if Sableye comes, at least we can
just bring in Meow.
Yeah, go Meow. Yeah, and then just, or even just go Ninetales, just get up our Sun or something, you know.
So if I like do bring in Meow in front of Sableye, you
Mhm.
think it would be better if I just like... Actually, no, yeah, knock. I was gonna say would taunt or knock off be better overall. I think knock off.
Yeah, you would never taunt it, because the only thing he would do, like, well, he could like screens on you or recover, but like that's gonna go first anyway. So there's really no point. If he's staying in, he is just staying in to either knock you off or like seismic toss you or something. So I always think you either spike or knock. Spike or knock might be a hard decision based on, but you have to like kind of just think like based on the game. Yeah, like what's going on here. So if we're a Solvest and we need this kind of as a switch into potentially Thunderous, we might want to go like max HP. Even though we said that like it looks pretty good offensively, you know, it could definitely be nice to have a switch into Thunderous, because this is the strong Thunderous too. This is the oh wait, this is the wrong one.
Yeah.
This is with the this one, and this is the 145 special attack. So let's see how much we're taking from like Focus Blast, for example. Oh boy. Yeah, so
okay. Chopple might be...
well, Chopple is only gonna save you
one time.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Choppleberry. I am blind. Choppleberry. Dude, it's got it. Oh, right here. Holy crap. Yeah, so like this doesn't work because this is max HP too. He can focus blast you twice and he'll just kill you, or if he just plots, you're dead through the Chopple anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't even know like
how to deal with this Dundee.
Yeah. It might be better. How much does Ice Spinner do if you're offensive? That was a good chunk. I was gonna say it could be better to simply just be offensive and then hope that when like switch, you could switch it in hard if you want. But the thing is, so if you would switch it in hard, like, well, Chopple isn't like as bad as we might think though. Just because it does basically let you switch in one time, and even if he plots, at least you're faster, and you'll get a hit off before he just KOs you. Right. Or if he just straight up attacks you, you know, he'll do about half through the Chopple, but again, you're faster, so there's no way he can just kill you without you getting nothing off. He's gonna have to attack and then switch and then come back. and do it again, or he's gonna like plot, and then you'll get your hit off at least before he just one shots you. So Chapel isn't. Does the same thing apply with Assault Vest? Yeah. Specs.
Huh.
Chapel Berry saves you from specs too. So maybe a Chapel is better. You always live. Modest Focus Blast. If we are going this bulky though, we are gonna still need to have a lot of speed. So we're probably gonna have like very little attack. I mean, Spinner will still do over half no matter what, which is nice. And you have.
Will he still be able to 2-hit KO Saberline?
You?
Well, I guess it's gonna recover in my face.
Yeah, you with 40 with Heavy Slam, definitely not. If you're like, no. I mean, if rocks are up, but he could just burn you though, and it's just not that whole sequence went out the window once we decided we were using this for Thunderous. So I think both work. Assault Vest and Chop will work. They can also both work versus Blood Moon too. Choppleberry, I suppose, might be able. Well, he really should fire move you if Infernape is out.
Yeah. It might be nice for like vacuuming priority.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I said, Assault Vest and Chopple would.
Ursaluna.
Yeah, would both work good against that. So, wait, does this thing get Incinerate? This move, this dude? Thunders?
I don't think so.
Let me double check real quick. Because he might also just.
I don't even know if Incinerate's like in Paldea.
Oh no, okay. I just gotta double check.
Like I have no idea. It could be. I know, yeah, for sure. Thundy doesn't get any fire coverage.
Yeah. Okay, I just had to double check. It does get Weather Ball if he wants to kind of.
Oh shit!
Try to use
Weather
your.
Ball might actually be.
Yeah. How much does that do? Let's see. Thunderous.
That honestly might be the play over Focus Blast on his side.
Yeah, I mean that would just. I mean he would need to predict you switching in and having the sun up. So at that time. So it's definitely not as reliable, but if the stars align, yeah, it's really nice. You don't gotta risk missing or anything. I'm thinking just a Soul Vest might be a little bit better just to kind of cover
the Weather Ball play.
Yeah, and just everything else in general too. Maybe even like an Earth Power from Blood Moon could help. You're probably not gonna be doing a ton to Blood Moon, but
yeah,
I'm
a little bit worried about like it setting up in my face with the Moonlight comment.
Yeah, well, again, that's where we have the whole 2 Encore users for. We do still have a red card too. I'm starting to think that maybe this might not be the best set, just because, like, if we're building this team to be pretty mostly offensive, like, I don't know if like, how do I say it?
If this is too like reactionary.
Yeah, like it seems like you're kind of anticipating him to like be more in the driver's seat of the game, which it can happen, but like I feel like from a building point of view, like that's not good.
The best way to build.
Yeah, that's not really how you should approach it. You should kind of
need to work on.
Yeah, you should have like your game plan. Like you should be wanting to control the game and build around like how you should be controlling the game. And so like I'm starting to look like, because also like, yeah, like we want to be pretty offensive, like offensive team. I don't know if Mimikyu is like the best Pokemon like left to be offensive on your team. Like,
oh, it's definitely not best offensive. I'm just like purely thinking for it.
Yeah, have you used Braviary yet at all?
Oh yeah, Braviary. So like week 3, like last week, Braviary. Yeah, I brought in instead of Slitherwing like last minute, and it really made some to like beat Terra or Ogerpon and Tion.
Oh yeah.
because like yeah, usually in mocks, Slitherwing was just like a U-turn Moinks on bot, didn't
Hmm.
make enough progression on its own, and the team didn't have the best flying resist. I
Okay.
love Braviary. It's such a
I like the Hisui Braviary. I think that thing is underrated too.
yeah, that thing is great too.
Let me see this
Oh
guy.
yeah, sorry to answer your question. Yeah, I probably wanted to know about.
Yeah, good. So again, the only thing that scares me with Braviary is if you look at the team, which Pokemon I think I'm thinking of here.
These.
You said Thundy?
Like you said, like what
What Pokemon
Pokemon?
like scares from his like what do you think like kind of like stops
Like
Braviary from like doing like a ton?
well, like defensively,
Yeah,
not a lot. The flying resists are only like Thundurus and and Polygon.
that is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
so honestly, um looking at this team, so we do have a couple of U-turners and a flip turner. Um what do you think of something like even like Banded Braviary? Um
Yo.
because like it does get quick attack too, so it is kind of like another.
Good Emergency kind of gets this set up.
I'm trying to think like if it's this. Hold on, this Sableye. How much does Sableye take from Banded? Does it die? Okay, that's Thunders. Sableye. Yeah, it takes a shitload. So with the spike up, it dies, and Wheezing does get 2-shot too.
Oh wow.
How much does Apollyon take? Svidef dies to 2 after a spike, and Thundurus is faster, so we can't 2-shot it. It takes a lot, yeah. So I think just having like a strong click, just to kind of like because you're not gonna have sun up the entire time. Obviously, when the sun is up and you can go into something like you're gonna want to go into Wake. Oh, we gotta change the Terra type too. But it's not gonna be up all the time, and I do think we have spin too. So if we do go the whole Banded Braviary out, even though we're weak to rocks, we have spin. I do think just having a nuke, because even if you have, let's say, Braviary in versus Roaring Moon or versus Blood Moon or Necrozma, like it has pretty decent bulk. Like I doubt that like let's check Blood Moon. I don't know. Blood Moon's pretty strong actually, but it does.
Yeah, after
Well,
rocks.
this is no bulk though. I was gonna say like I doubt that like they just straight up one shot you. We could probably add some bulk to make it so this doesn't, like, you're not gonna need too much bulk, but or at least in your favor to where you don't get one shot. Same thing with the Roaring Moon. Like if Roaring Moon is Dragon Dance, it needs to have, this is booster attack to outrage would probably kill you. So it's gotta have boost. Like they don't have a lot of things on their team that could just straight up one shot you besides Thundurus, I would think. Thundurus probably can, yeah. Yeah, this is the Spadef investment, but Volt Switch actually might not kill you. I don't know. Let's see. But you're gonna switch into treads probably anyway versus versus under. So I don't know. I think just having a strong nuke, it's still gonna be faster than a good portion of the team. Like I don't think Bruxish or Zangoose per se are gonna show up here. So if that's the case, like you're gonna be faster than, at the very least, half of his team. Like just these 3 guys will outspeed you, and I don't even know if all 3 are gonna show up. And Ferdinand might not show up. So
Yeah.
I think you can go Adamant. And you could probably just creep Adamant Necrozma, because, well, I don't know. Can Necrozma, if it's Adamant, get away with outspeeding Meowscarada at +1? Let's see. Yeah, it does. So I would probably just creep Adamant Necrozma. So you probably wouldn't have much bulk because it's literally just 1 point slower. But it would be a good chance, I think, that you would outspeed Necrozma if you guys are both not boosted. I don't really get why he would go Jolly here. Doesn't make sense. And then also again, you have the quick attack, so it is kind of like if something gets low, you're still gonna be quick attack still probably does a good chunk to something like, we'll check Necrozma and we'll check Moon because those are probably like the setup threats. Like 30 to Necrozma, this is no bulk, so it's probably gonna do a little less. 40 to Moon. Blood Moon, if you want to go before his Vacuum Wave, takes about a quarter, so it's not super strong, but it is there. And I think you can catch him off guard. I don't. Mimikyu doesn't look bad. I just don't think this set is great for the game plan.
For this type of build.
Yeah,
that makes. I'd rather just like try to kill something.
Yeah.
Or like spend less turns in the field than I need to be because I still get some.
Right. Yeah.
Ooh. Wait.
Does it get
having sheer force?
Well, sheer force doesn't. Braybird.
Yeah,
it's not boosting my Braybird. No. You could go Defy here though, and the only way you could Defy is if he defogs versus you.
Well, actually not. Actually, I don't know, because I gotta if like I bring in Bravery in front of the Weezing while it defogs, I could. Well, like when I think it's gonna defog, I might risk a burn.
Yeah. I don't even know if it's gonna potentially carry Will-O-Wisp here. It might carry Flame. It's gonna carry probably at least Flamethrower though for sure for treads. You definitely can catch it, and we could also run Facade too, like, in case we get burned.
Oh.
If you're scared of that, I definitely think we need Braybird though.
Yeah, Braybird, then like maybe CC.
Oh wait, doesn't he get quick attack? What the heck?
Oh no.
What? I thought he got quick attack.
Maybe not Paldea.
What?
Oh, that's so.
Oh, I think I'm thinking of Staraptor. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't get quick attack, so scratch the whole 30%, but the Bandit Braybird point still stands. Oh, this thing gets defog too. I didn't even forget about that. Oh, and it gets agility, huh? No, I like the raw power though for sure. So we would
Shark Beak maybe, and then go like Facade, Close Combat, or Agility. I kind of like Bandit a little bit more though.
Something like this. Let's see how much you do with Shark Beak instead.
What would I set up on though? That would like.
I mean, there's a couple of things I think, like something like, Infernape, or like we said, like there's a lot of things that just don't straight up just KO you. So you could potentially set up on a lot of things. It's just with this type of set right here, you don't have Roost. So, if you do, there's a chance that you just agility on the correct play and they switch and you get a free agility. On the off chance that you do take a hit, you might be put into, priority range after, which would suck. Another thing too is if they go Sableye on your agility, you are gonna get Encored or Willowed, because even if you get Willowed, like you have Facade, but you don't hit Sableye, so you don't beat that. So that's the reason.
You think might be better.
I think I just think CB is ideal here. Choice band, and then this would probably be. It would probably be U-turn. It obviously seems like the most ideal thing. You could have like a last ditch effort Tailwind, but
wait a second. Kenai doesn't lower accuracy, right?
No, it prevents you from lowering. You're getting lowered.
I was thinking like the defog evasion shenanigans.
Oh, no. Yeah, you'd be defying here.
Defying is better.
Yeah.
In every way.
And honestly, if you do have hazards up, and the Weezing is there, don't be afraid. Listen, if they Will-O-Wisp you, at least you keep the hazards up, right? So, but if you do get that play right, like Braybird claims, like nothing takes obviously the +2 Panda Braybird, right? So, obviously without quick attack, you
Uh,
know,
yeah.
the health, like you might like be more inclined just to sack this guy off once you get a kill. If you get 2 kills, like that's really really good. Um,
Yeah,
but
best case scenario, I mean, like worst case scenario, I don't like force anything to stop in front of me. I just go.
yeah, yeah, exactly, right. So I almost like don't want to put U-turn on this set because realistically, like you're clicking Brave Bird when this guy is in. Like you're not clicking anything else unless there's no like normal resists or something. Then you can click Facade or whatever. That's why I kind of want to put like just another attacking move here.
Like double edge.
Double edge, right? Double edge. I don't know if there's anything else. Not really. Yeah, so it'd be double edge. Yeah, literally just like this, like that. And also, like, if you use Wig to take down the employee, and that's one other Brave Bird resist gone. So it's like it's literally just thunders. So yeah, you should be good here. And this does also give you, you know, if Blood Moon is set up too with Calm Minds, like you still always threaten it with close banded close combat. So, this is Sharpie choice band. Yeah, it does a shitload. You do have to be careful of. Let's check how much vacuum weight does too. Only 20, so he would need to be pretty boosted to do like a lot too. +3 is
Do you
how I
think there's
have.
a possibility for Chopple, mostly for Slitherwing?
There definitely is, yes. But I mean, obviously, if he's in Braybird range, you probably don't want to risk Chopple if you don't know the item. But also, like, you don't take any recoil if you do manage to get the close combat. But like, also, if something like Sableye is alive or whatever, or Wheezing, like, no, like you just go for the Braybird. Only if you have to absolutely kill him and get the roll, like, yeah, you go for close combat. Or, you know, you can always double edge too. Double edge is the same thing as Braybird. If no Sableye is alive and it's just like Wheezing,
Yeah,
you just
don't
double edge. Yeah.
Double edge is pretty nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, you have, you know, this is still max attack too, this guy, so he still can do some damage. But it's pretty much just Wake and Braviary. Treads is a little bit invested, and Ninetales is fully invested, but Ninetales isn't the, you know, it's not the strongest dude out there. But yeah, I can definitely see like just Moon coming in with the sun up, and then maybe Uxie's weakened or dead. Like you kind of might start freaking out a little bit. But the key thing is just pretty much not letting it set up. So pretty much everything on this team, like, can at least threaten it or like stop it from setting up. So again, you might have to just sack whatever's out in front of Moon when it comes in. But you have to just kind of think about, okay, if something happens, if he sets up, if I switch and he does this, do I just lose, right? And just not let that happen. It's a tough matchup, man. So I honestly, like, I wouldn't feel bad if you lost this game. I definitely think this team is winnable with, but it looks pretty hard.
It's
So
not me that's bad. It's the matchup.
that's the classic, you know. That's how it goes. But no, yeah, getting up your spikes and then just trying to win with Wake / Braviary, and then again, don't forget about Healing Wish, getting Wake back in. So like, if you even want to like sack off a lot of health, or maybe even take a burn on treads or something, if it helps you do something, like you could do it as long as you are able to Healing Wish it back up later too, you know.
Right.
So, I think that's fine. I think with Meowscarada lead with the Spike Focus Sash, we're probably not gonna switch on like anything. I'm trying to think, what do we switch versus? Really nothing, because even if Infernape or Thunderous come and they're Scarfed, like they'll go first. At least you know they're Scarfed and just U-turn and put you down a Sash or whatever.
Or I can, yeah, if they U-turn Volt Switch, it might be a problem. But I can also just like raw knock and not worry about like. Actually,
I think knockoff or spike depends on what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Or like we said, taunt too. You might want to just taunt the I think if it's an Acrosma lead, you probably want to taunt it. Because it could be lead policy, could be just lead rocks, you know. Acrosma is not going to be able to just one shot or like.
Perfect for
yeah. So I think versus Necrozma, like you taunt it. I think regardless of the terror type, honestly, I think you just still always taunt it.
Yeah.
Um,
Even if it somehow has mental hurt, I'm down to Sash. I can kill it.
yeah, yeah, right. That's fine. Yeah, lead mental art would be crazy. I guess it could be though, because realistically you can't one shot Necrozma with anything. Like there's just nothing that's just gonna kill it. So he doesn't have to like necessarily run a Sash to be worried about getting killed. But versus Moon lead. So could U-turn. The problem is like you go Uxie, he's probably gonna click U-turn himself. I don't know though, because he could die to Axel or play rough, so he really has no business staying in. Even if he's scarfed, like you could be scarfed, right? So he really should switch. So, and assuming he like kind of knows what he's doing, like I would think you're fine to either just U-turn or spike. If he honestly, if he's gonna switch, you should probably just get your spike up actually. It would be kind of crazy if he just Dragon Dance, I guess, versus you. That's not gonna happen. There's just no shot. You just risk dying to a triple axel. So I think you could probably just spike versus Moon. That's fine. Versus Empoleon. Empoleon, you might want to just. Spike is not the play versus Empoleon. It's probably knock or taunt. I'm not sure what you think is better. Probably knockoff.
I think knockoff.
Yeah, because that thing is like annoying for two of your main threats. So getting rid of its item would be nice. Probably gets up rocks, but then you can get up spike afterwards. So it is what it is. And then you'll stay a dark type too, not a ground type, so you won't be weak to his attack. So we're gonna taunt Necro, spike, knock. Versus Ursaluna, I think you just spike. He should be scared of just like Flower Trick, Bane Flower Trick or something. So you spike versus him. Wheezing, Galar, lead.
I just you turn into Wake. Like.
Well, I think you probably turn to Ninetales would probably be ideal actually first, just to get the sun up.
Oh right.
Yeah, and then after that, depending on what he does, he might Toxic Spike or something. But regardless, once you have Ninetales in versus Wheezing turn 2, you probably can Will-O-Wisp. He really has no business staying in and just getting blasted by a fire move. Especially if no Infernape, because then at least you're burning something. So I'd probably Will-O-Wisp turn 2 in that scenario. But yeah, I think you definitely pivot Ninetales versus Wheezing. Now, something to think about, if he is neutralizing gas, the sun does not go up. But that's interesting because that means he would not be Levitate. I guess he might not think he doesn't need Levitate though, because the ground type has steel coverage anyway. So that is something that we didn't even mention about stopping the sun. I mean, you still probably.
If he isn't Levitate, couldn't I just EQ with Slithering?
You could too, yeah. I mean, Slithering also gets Heavy Slam too, though, so you could also just have that.
Okay, yeah.
But I think Ninetales, even without the sun, though, probably still does a good chunk to Wheezing if it's Fizdef, which it should be here. Flamethrower, not in the sun. Yeah, I mean, he still takes 50. Yeah, so he's not going to want to stay in regardless. So the sun should go up once he switches. So I think that plays fine. And plus, if you U-turn versus Wheezing, at least you know if it's helmet or whatever the heck it is.
Right.
So versus Nape, you just spike. He can knock you down to Sash and then Mach Punch you after. So maybe after the second turn, if he knocks you down to Sash, you can switch into. I mean, Ninetales could switch in or Uxie, one of the two. If he hits you with a physical move, Uxie's probably just better. And then you can either Rocks or U-turn. But turn 1, I think you just spike and you can find out if he's Sash, if he goes faster and whatever. Or if he Rocks on your spike, he's probably Sash lead as well. So it's up to you what you want to do. You can get up another spike. You can just go Uxie, then U-turn and break the. You probably go Uxie honestly, and you can preserve your Sash and maybe get a spin off before it comes back in. Yeah, so it definitely depends on when Infernape does turn 1 on what you do the following turn. Thunderous, same thing. You just spike. You see what he wants to do. A lot of these guys really shouldn't. I mean, well, if Nip can, because he's not under any threat from you killing him. But again, something like Thunderous can also just straight up die to an Axel. So if you have it, so you spike. He shouldn't stay in. Hopefully he doesn't. Sableye.
You don't think it would be worth knocking off Thunderous's item in case like he tries to creep a booster speed? Or actually, no, it won't creep booster speed. Like if it like is specs or if like it's a resist Predator to get an agility.
Well, you could always do that the following turn. The thing is, like, so if you spike the first turn, what do you think he's clicking versus you? Because you also turn into a ground type too. So,
yeah, so he's either gonna he won't set up in front of my face because of
no. I think he's either gonna be scarfed and U-turn, or Volt Switch, whatever, or switch. And again, I don't like Scarf staying in because you could be scarfed and just kill him with Axel.
Right.
So I don't think knockoff would ever even knock off the Thunderous itself. I think it would knock off potentially something that comes in. Which, let's say he's Scarf U-turn, Oxy Sash, he brings in Wheezing, you knock off the helmet, you die, don't get a spike up, don't remove the helmet because you die. Like, that's just you get nothing pretty much out of Meowscarada. So, spike, at least you always get at least something, you know? Yeah. You can always knock the second turn. Sableye, you spike. He has no business staying in. He can knock off your Sash, I guess, if he wants, but just get up your spike. Oh my god, Spite Ups. I mean, if it's elite Spite Ups, like, it's got to be there for hazards, right? So
I just like to Ninetales probably, or Treads.
Treads is fine, yeah, because you can always just spin. The thing is, if he has Spite Ups plus Sableye, which would be absolutely crazy, because then he doesn't have a lot of these guys. I don't know if going Treads would be best because he can hazard and then block you. Which you could do. He could first impression to obviously you, which will put you to Sash no matter what. But you could taunt just to stop it, and then even if he knocks you down to Sash, at least you can spike the following after and you prevented hazards.
Cycling back to Sableye real quick.
Yeah.
Like, once I look spike in front of it, and well, it can't taunt me when I'm initially ground type, but like afterwards, like, do you think I just like stay in, risk the wisp that might come my?
Yeah. I don't think you really care if Meowscarada gets burned, man. It's really there just for hazards and then remove items. It's not going to be doing a ton of damage. Right. Because again, even if you're burned, you might think, oh my, like, I'm an easy setup target. Just taunt, man. Just taunt. So you're faster and everything. You're good to just stop setting up on you. So it's honestly, I think it's honestly good for you if he stays in, because you're going to be able to get more than one spike, maybe even 3 spikes, or at the very least a spike and an item if you want to knock off turn 2, if he stays in. So I think it's better for you anyway. I wouldn't worry about getting burned. Zangoose lead. Yeah, I don't know. I think you just, honestly, I think you spike still, dude. He might hit you down to Sash, but he could hit you down to Sash, then he could
no way he brings Zangoose.
No, I don't either, especially as a lead too. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. He could, if he does knock you down to Sash on your spike, he is probably going to end up quick attacking you. So you could switch if you want to save the Sash.
Do I risk, like, if I switch though, I would use my Colbert on probably, like, I guess he could quick attack.
Yeah, he would normal move you. Yeah. He could hit you for some big damage after, but I think that's okay. You could just U-turn. Oh, after you're bringing Uxie, turn 2 if you want. I mean, and then Bruxish, like, there's just no way Bruxish comes. If it comes, it doesn't lead, and if it leads, there's no way it stays in. Versus Meowscarada, like, it's just not, like,
you get a free knock.
Yeah, you can, well,
or spike.
You could knock first just in case you're scared of him saying, but like your double stabs are double super effective. Like, versus, like, it just doesn't make sense. If he's staying in, he has to be scarfed just to flip turn or something. Which again, I just don't like that because you could be scarfed too. All this, maybe, like, I'm just thinking maybe we should be scarfed after all these scenarios, but
no, I mean, I brought scarf like back to back.
Did you? Yeah, it's a good set on. It's a good item on Meowscarada for sure.
So good. I got me 5.
Really? Yeah, it's really good. Just as Protean just hits so strong.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, versus Bruxish, you should be good to just spike, man. I
Yeah.
mean, you can knock if you want to be safe, and then just spike into the following thing, if you want. Because
Yeah.
getting an item first too isn't the worst. It's
I
just
guess like it depends if Weezing comes or not. Because that's
yeah,
like a weird thing that I don't like. That probably doesn't mind
yeah.
using its item. That like the others are like really detrimental to the pressure on my team.
Yeah.
I think yeah, spiking is always.
Yeah, Spike's good. That's another thing too. If he's neutralizing gas, then Spike's hit the Weezing too. So that would be good. But yeah, no, I like this team again. Don't be afraid to be aggressive with Baby Ari. Just throw it in versus something, and then just get your kill, because it can take a hit. Obviously, if you have a free switch in, that's even better. But like, you're probably gonna end up. So like, I'm trying to think like when you U-turn with like Uxie or something, or flip turn into with Wake. Like what has to be on the field for you to bring in Braviary and just click Brave Bird? It shouldn't be Sableye because Sableye can just burn you straight up. It's got to be something that like you're faster than. So it's got to be something like Empoleon or Blood Moon or Weezing. I understand Weezing could potentially burn you too, but the thing is, even if you are in versus Weezing, why is this Fistef Doodles going on?
I'm more. Yeah, I guess it really just depends on what I sack first to bring in Braviary and claim my kill. Because definitely with all the no recovery on Uxie.
Well, you could still, you could still like slow flip turn. You don't have to necessarily sack something. Hopefully, you can just slow momentum into it. That's obviously ideal.
Yeah.
But yeah, you might end up sacking something too. Like that's just how it works. But like, let's say the Weezing is at like, I don't know, 80% or something, and like you have a free switch in. Obviously, if the sun is if the sun is up, you're gonna go Wake. You're not gonna go Braviary, or you're gonna go Ninetales to get the sun up. So I think the things that are probably gonna be coming in versus with Braviary is probably gonna be mainly Empo till you threaten it with a close combat or just a Brave Bird just to get chip, because again, chip on that means really good for your Wake. Zangoose, Bruxish, Infernape, like I don't think Infernape can one shot you unless it's like boosted, right? Or unless the sun is up with like a fire move. And Blood Moon, even Necrozma, like if you want to, Necrozma might be a good one too. I didn't even think of that.
Weezing too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're talking about Weezing. Yeah, that's another thing too. You might not kill the Weezing, but you prevent defog if you do bring it in versus it. So, which is really nice. Yeah, but even Necrozma, like you just do a lot of damage. Even if he's like max HP, again, he might be Fizz-Def because like Terra Poison defensive looks really solid. You still two-shot this thing. And if he's Fizz-Def, he's not going to have any investment. So like his guys are only going to do about half to you. So even if he's like, hold on, do you live a +1 hit? You do.
Well, not after rocks.
Not after rocks, no. Not after rocks. But yeah, if no rocks are up and Braviary is full, you could go hard into Braviary on Necrozma if you don't know what he's going to do. The only thing that one-shots you is, what do you think? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, +1 Photon guys here.
No, Photon guy doesn't one-shot you. +1 if you're full. There's one there's one like Necrozma set. No, with no rocks.
Does Necro get any electric coverage?
Just charge beam. It's not an electric move. There's a pretty common set that Necrozma likes to run.
Oh yeah, dude, I have no idea.
It's Meteor Beam. Yeah, like power Meteor Beam. Yeah.
Yeah, I just like clicked me once.
Yeah, but he would have to predict that first of all, because again, we're gonna be faster unless he's Jolly for some reason. So, and also again, you do have to take into account the potential Terra type. He could, obviously Terra into something that resists flying, like electric, but you have double edge too. So if there's a move that hits both his current type and his Terra type neutral
Being
between.
switches are flying and fighting and like normal.
Yeah, yeah. You want to click the move that's obviously neutral versus both types, so you don't have to worry about 50-50 Terra and all this crap.
Right.
So, but no, I like this team. I think it's definitely possible to win. I know I said like it's not a great matchup, but you could definitely win, man, if you get the plays right and maybe some sets catch him off guard. Like maybe he doesn't expect Banded Braviary. I don't know. Or maybe he just heavily preps for like Sun, like with like Slytherin coming, and maybe Mimikyu coming, because Mimikyu, like I said, didn't like terrible. So it's just gonna depend. I think it's gonna be a very offensive game though. Like he has way too many strong attackers, I think, for this game. This game's probably gonna go under 20 turns. If I had to guess, honestly.
Yeah, I hope so.
So
But if it's over 20, I probably would lose turns.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be a bloodbath either way. So, but that's pretty much it. Do you have any other like last concerns really, or you think you're okay?
My last minute, I'm not really. Like, I don't have any more concerns. I think mostly you cooked really hard, and I appreciate it. I'm like thinking, what if Wake was AV?
Wake was AV.
Just to deal with Dundee a little bit more, and I guess Blood Moon too.
Well, what do we have right now? We have Extra Belt.
Yeah.
Let's actually go ahead and import this team and we'll look at some things real quick. So the main thing is, again, we fully expect that Empoleon to be the pivot.
Oh, yeah.
So if it is Assault Vest, let's say, how much do we lose if we go to Assault Vest ourselves? About 6%. It's not the most, honestly. What else? Let's see, Blood Moon. So you're just like kind of scared of Thunders. That's pretty much the main thing, Lai.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is with Assault. Oh, this is minus Spit Def Nature. What the hell?
Oh, because of the last year.
Yeah. So this is with Assault Vest. That's an extra belt.
This is without Sun. Too.
Oh yeah, too. I didn't think of that. So that shouldn't matter for damage. So that's fine too. What else does extra belt help us with?
I mean, the Ursulina doesn't have much bulk in the calculator.
It's got max HP, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
I just saw 252, 252 special attack.
Yeah, it has max HP. So the things that extra belt help us with are Blood Moon, which obviously if the sun is up, that doesn't matter. And Empoleon, it does get us a nice 7-8%, which, definitely could make the difference. But if we have spikes up, that should chip it down for us anyway. And then Moon, because we definitely want to make sure we can kill Roaring Moon in one. Are we Draco or are we? We're Draco. That's gonna kill it. Yeah. So honestly, I'm okay with that. I don't think that's necessarily a big thing. It could definitely come into handy. Yeah. I'm thinking like maybe if we have Assault Vest. I mean, well, we have double Assault Vest, so I think it's okay. It would obviously be nice too if the Necrozma ends up being special too, but it could be anything. So, the thing with Necrozma though is it can technically just Calm Mind and then like Moonlight on us. Like even though we can take his hit better, like we're not like able to boost ourselves.
Bring in the Braviary to just like somewhere and set up in front of the way.
Yeah, or you could also flip, like if he is, again, this is another thing. Same thing with Blood Moon. If he is in a pretty like safe like Calm Mind, Moonlight Calm Mind, like just you're getting set up on, and he's clicking a non-attacking move, you could just flip turn into Ninetales and Encore if it's Calm Mind, because then you're faster for sure. If it's DD, you're gonna be doing hopefully a lot of damage to him, so he shouldn't be able to set up on you like infinitely anyway. Or again, if he's DD, you could always just, if Uxie's semi-healthy, you can just flip turn into Uxie and then at least Encore him into an attack. So if it's Geyser, at least you know you can go into Treads or something, or Meow if it's still alive. So I think you'll be okay. So I mean,
yeah, hopefully you don't like flip turn something that like would be better just to get the raw damage off.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, I like this change. So this is good. I usually tell people to don't Terra unless you have to. So like in this case, I would say you only Terra like when you're gonna go for Terra Blast. But the typing is important for Thunderous, so it might be better just to kind of Terra when you first hit the field. This is preview, right? So he's gonna know what you are before the game starts.
This is their open Terra.
Yeah. Okay, so no, I think that's okay. That's a good change. That's a good shout. I think that's it. Anything else or no?
I think, yeah, that's it.
Okay, you think that's it? All right. So, game plan hazards. If he has defog, take advantage with Braviary, and then just try to get in Wake and Treads and Braviary as much as possible. Game might come down to like how many kills Wake can get. And again, you can always get 7 more turns with Wake with the Healing Wish and Sun coming back up. So even if Ninetales is low, as long as it's not below 25%, even if it is, like you still have spin, it could be worth just saving this guy to Healing Wish on anything that's slower, which is literally like 3/4 of the team is slower than you. So I think we're pretty solid. All right, and also, sorry, I know it's kind of late for you. It's 12:10 for you. Yeah, I know. But appreciate you coming on, and that's gonna do it for the building part. I'll see you guys in the battle. Peace. All right, guys, we are here for the battle for Hunky's Wi-Fi game versus, I believe it is versing DashingSceptile, who is undefeated at this point. Now, real quick, we did actually change the team a lot from what you saw built in the builder. And that's because he did a lot of mock battles, and I highly encourage doing mock battles. Whether it's for a league or a tour, doesn't really matter. They always help. And actually, just to give you kind of guys an idea on how much we actually talked, I'm going to show you guys I'm going to scroll through our Discord DMs real quick. But as you guys can see, he posted, so this is when I gave him the Pokeface that we built, as you guys saw. But then he did mock battles, and we talked more about it, and he did more mock battles and more mock battles, and we even actually got into a call for an additional 2 hours off camera to talk about the mock battles and things that we could do. And then even right before the battle day up, I actually decided to change a couple sets, a couple mons. I was thinking about it, and you know, we were just talking throughout the week. And you know, if you guys end up on this series, like don't just think that the team I built with you guys is the final team. If you have questions, if you want to test stuff out, like I'm still available to DM it. You don't have to just go into the battle with the final pace I think that we built. I think there was a couple of sessions so far where like we ended up actually editing the pace a little bit after we built it. So this was the pace that we built that you guys saw, and then this is the updated pace. So a lot of things changed. So I'm going to go through each change for each Pokemon. So in terms of Walking Wake, the only thing that really changed was the item. We actually went with Boots. The EVs changed very little, but we went with Boots instead of Assault Vest because it was a bit hard to spin with Treads on a couple things, especially if Sableye came. If they just Spike Stack us or Sticky Webs or Toxic Spike us, it's actually really bad for Walking Wake because the health is really important, because it's one of the few things that can live a +1 hit from Roaring Moon, and Roaring Moon is the biggest threat by far to our team, as we saw in the mocks too. That, well, you guys didn't see the mocks, but when the mocks happened, it was definitely the biggest problem for our team. So we changed Walking Wake to Boots. Meowscarada was the only thing that stayed exactly the same. Sash Lead, nothing changed there. We actually went with Thunder Wave over Psychic Noise on Uxie because, again, if we could potentially T-Wave the Moon, it'll help us in the long run. That's pretty much what the main thing was for. This was a last-minute change, or last-minute thought that I actually thought of, which was instead of Heat Rock on Ninetales, I actually think Scarf was better, because there was a couple of times in the mocks where like they would bring in something like Infernape, or Necrozma would try to set up a Dragon Dance in front of us, and it would just kind of catch the opponent off guard, I think, by having Flamethrower two-shot those Pokemon. If the Infernape is shipped, Flamethrower does a solid chunk in the sun, and to Necrozma too, if it's not a resisted type from fire. Flamethrower does a lot to Necrozma, to an offensive Necrozma in the sun, so potentially 2-hit KOing any of those two Pokemon is really nice. And then I also figured that Scarf Healing, which is also easier to get off. Now, obviously, the downside is less sun turns, but that wasn't really a concern in the mocks. And the sun does actually help the moon too, so it's kind of like a double-edged sword here. So we still are banded Braviary, but instead of being Defiant to get the boost from the potential defog from Wheezing and having Double Edge and Brave Bird, we went with, I decided this was actually the other change I kind of thought of. The last three Pokemon are what I kind of thought of the day of the battle, which would be better. The other changes we kind of talked about it over that long call that we had. But here I figured health on Braviary is also pretty important, and Sheer Force Body Slam compared to just Defiant Double Edge, it's not that much weaker. It's pretty close, and then we obviously avoid taking the recoil. So I opted for this because we might need the health on this guy to take an Necrozma hit or a Roaring Moon hit. So I feel like the Sheer Force Body Slam was a bit better. The only thing that we don't get out of it is we don't get the Defiant potential boost from Defog on Wheezing, but that's a very specific scenario, so I think this actually ends up being a bit better. And then here, we went with Spadef, Spadef Slithering with First Impression. Again, this can still kind of check the Thunderous, which our Spadef Mon, that's what the Treads was trying to check, was the Thunderous. But also, it does give us another out to the Roaring Moon if he doesn't have Protect on Roaring Moon. Because again, we're so scared of Roaring Moon. If it just gets up a +1 attack, a +1 setup, and our Uxie is pretty much weakened or dead, that thing would just sweep our team if Uxie is low, and then if Walking Wake is chipped at all. Walking Wake basically needs to be at full to live a +1 attack from Roaring Moon, unless it's Outrage. +1 Outrage would kill us, but he's probably not going to have Outrage here. It makes a lot of sense to have Knock and then probably Acrobatics and potentially Earthquake too. Knock Acrobatics seems like the really only coverage it needs though versus our team. So, but yeah, this should be able to check Thunderous. Even if it's like Nasty Plot Psychic, we still live one and we can do a big damage with Flare Blitz. And yeah, like I said, it was mainly just also First Impression helps with Roaring Moon. So that is the team composition. Again, I know a pretty big change. Everything changed except for Meowscarada, but that is the team going in. It's still, like I said, not a good matchup. I think the opponent definitely has the advantage, but I think this team is pretty solid, and if he plays not bad, I think he can come away with the win here. So it's actually a Wi-Fi game, so another Wi-Fi game. We're going to go ahead and speed it up and kind of see how the game goes. Now, we didn't expect Blood Moon to make an appearance. I think Blood Moon we didn't expect. That's really it out of the major threats, though. And as you can see, he does have Blood Moon. Okay, so his opponent does bring Blood Moon, and his opponent brings Bruxish, which is interesting. I don't think there was a Bruxish brought in any mock, actually, so he might be a little bit thrown off about that. But I still think it's okay just to lead Meowscarada. So his opponent left Infernape. His opponent left Thunderous on the bench. So, yeah, Bruxish is interesting. I don't even know what that thing is going to try to do here, but we'll see how it goes. So, yeah, our plan is just to lead with Meow. I didn't ask him, I forgot. I don't know what his Terra type is on Necrozma. It's preview, but obviously I don't know. It doesn't show it on the Wi-Fi screen. So, but they actually led with Bruxish, so it might be Scarf or Sash if I had to guess. So we're gonna knock off here, which is fine. It's Sash. Okay, makes sense. Trick Room goes up. Okay, so Trick Room into Blood Moon has to be the play here, right? That's pretty much the only Pokemon to take advantage, which could be scary because Blood Moon is really hard for our team. But here, I think we just set up a Spike here. Spike is pretty much gets an indirect kill, and what I mean by that is if the Bruxish like flip turns or does anything, it switches out. The Spike would kill it on entry next time, so it pretty much gets a kill. And then Spike is really, really important for chip on the opponent's team, especially for that Roaring Moon. So I think Spike here is definitely the play. He's hovering over U-turn. I don't think it looks like he's gonna U-turn. But you could even go for, even if he goes for like Wave Crash too. Oh, he just go for Wave Crash, yeah. So Spike would have still went up here, but he did go for U-turn, so it's all good. It's tricky because he didn't play a Bruxish in Mock, so it's kind of tricky. So now Blood Moon is out, and it's in Trick Room, so it's a bit scary. We don't really have a switch in. Uxie's Fizz Def, so Yeah, that does over half. Oh my god, he's Life Orb. Holy shit. Dang, so if that was Blood Moon, that pretty much would have done like 3/4. But this is a bit scary because again, this was one of the few things that can live a +1 hit from Moon no matter what, because we're Colbert Berry. Now it's a bit scary, and we get Thunderwave it, but now it's a bit scary or Encore it because this is weakened. So he needs to pretty much maintain Wake's health at full because he needs Wake to be able to take a potential +1 hit if Moon comes in. So this is a bit scary. Yeah, he can go Slithering. I like this play here because it is our Spadef check, and there is no Thunderous, actually. So if he pivots Slithering here, I think that's correct. That makes a lot of sense. And he is going to do that. Hopefully, he's probably just going to go for another Hyper Voice, if I had to guess. Yeah, he just go for Hyper Voice. Barely doesn't take it, or barely doesn't do half. He might have Blood Moon to do more. We'll see. I think that showed, what, 1 turn of Trick Room left. So, assuming a Blood Moon is coming here, what he could do is he could sack Meowscarada because, again, the first impression could be useful here. And Meowscarada, if they get rocks up, they have priority, they have potentially a Scarf or booster speed, it's not going to be doing much anyway. So, I think the play would be to save this guy and sack Meow here. I mean, he does live unless they have Blood Moon, but it'd be really weird to not have Blood Moon. So he's got to assume he's going to die here. So yeah, he's going to first impression to make sure he gets some hits off, and Blood Moon comes off. Yeah, it might have been better to sack Meow there, because Meow is pretty low anyway, but it's all good. Alright, so the Trick Room wears off, so he could probably go into Wake or Braviary, I think is the play here, to pick this guy off. Braviary should do the job with the Body Slam, yep. Or Bandage, Sheer Force boosted, so he doesn't have Disabilize, so there's no... The only resist to normal, I think, on the team is Empoleon, which is nice for... Weakening that is nice for Wake. So, but yeah, I agree. Body Slam is free here. Yep, nice. Picks up the kill. No problem. Okay. Let's see what the opponent brings in now. Maybe next time there's a Wi-Fi game, I'll have like the Pokemon on the side so you guys can at least see what's in the back. So he brings out Weezing. I didn't even see what he clicked, but okay, so he just attacked the Weezing. I'm not sure I agree with this. I think probably going Ninetales is a bit better because there's nothing that Weezing can go for right here that will just two-shot Ninetales, and Ninetales will two-shot this guy with a fire move. And like I said, I think maintaining full HP on Braviary could be very useful for taking a potential hit from Necrozma or Moon. But we decide to stay in and we get it Toxic. Yeah, so I think even if Ninetales got Toxic, that's not a big deal at all. This thing taking the Rocky Helmet plus Poison, I mean, we're going to be able to stay in and kill this thing, which is nice. But now Braviary is going to pretty much die to any hit after. So he should not switch here. He should just stay in and take his kill. Yeah, this is correct. I mean, it would be nice if the opponent switched, honestly, because then we can get some big damage. Yeah, he does switch. Wow, okay, we'll take it. He goes into Empoleon. This should do about like 40, I would have to guess, right? Yeah, about 40. Good chip. He can now. What he could do is he could actually pivot Ninetales here. I think Ninetales is probably correct here, because his opponent is probably just gonna flip turn or switch out, and even if he attacks with a water move, for example, the sun's up. So Ninetales is pretty good here, I think. He's thinking about going Wake. Again, I don't like that just because I don't like losing health on Wake. He does go Ninetales. Okay, so good play. He's doing the plays that I would pretty much do. So, oh, his opponent double switches, so he probably doesn't have flip turn. Back into Weezing, so this is good for us. Nice. We could just Flamethrower, and they're not going to even know that we're Scarf because we're obviously usually faster than Weezing. He should not Fire Blast here. There's no reason to risk the miss here. You do not need the extra power for anything. Flamethrower should definitely kill at this range in the sun. No max special attack. Yep, nice. Okay, so Weezing goes down. So he's only got Necrozma, Empoleon, and Roaring Moon left. I still don't know what Terra the Necrozma is, actually. Let's see. Oh, here he is. So this is exactly what I was thinking about, actually. Again, when I decided to make this thing Scarf, I don't think his opponent is gonna think that Ninetales is scarfed. It's, you know, it makes more sense to be Heat Rock because again we have a Walking Wake and a Slithering. I guess we brought two. So I think you just stay in here because no matter what this thing is, though actually there's only one set that could OHKO Ninetales, which is the Meteor Beam Power Up set. But any other set, he should be fine to just simply two-shot the Necrozma. So I think you actually do stay in here. And to be honest, even if you Flamethrower, you do a lot, and then he does do the whole Meteor Beam and kill us, we can just go Walking Wake because the sun will still be up for, I believe, 2 turns. And Hydro Stream into Terra Blast kills Empoleon. Draco Meteor would kill Roaring Moon. And then it would just be Necrozma left. So yeah, we do stay in. Yep, and he Dragon Dance is nice. So yeah, we catch us off guard. Now the only issue is the Roaring Moon, but because Walking Wake is full health, I think we're still okay here. So now he knows we're scarfed. Flamethrower, yep. This does give, I'm assuming Roaring Moon comes in. This is a bit scary because Slithering is dead. Uxie is low. Does he show his team here? He's booster speed. Okay, what can he do here? Okay, so assuming he's got to protect against Dragon Dance. So the way to protect against Dragon Dance is to simply go Braviary or Uxie here because that means they can only get 1 Dragon Dance off. So either of those would work. Let's see what he does. And then basically it'll only be at a +1. So Wake should be able, by turning into a ground type, should be able to live any hit unless it's Outrage. Unless he is Outrage. If he has Outrage, then I believe the game is over. So, but I don't think it makes sense to pack Outrage versus our team. Like, he needs Acro for Meow/Slither. Knockoff makes a lot of sense. Earthquake could be there for Treads. I don't think he needs a Dragon move here. So we'll see. He shows... Okay, wait. So he Dragon Danced, the sun ran out, and then his booster. Okay, so he's booster speed, so he's probably Acrobatics. Yeah, that makes sense. And he's +1. So Braviary is going to die here, I'm assuming. He should just close combat here to threaten a one-shot KO, so he can't just try to go for another setup. And then I believe you just go Wake here and live anything besides... Yep, close combat's correct. Besides Outrage. We'll see if he has Outrage. There's Knockoff. So he's got Knockoff, DD, Acrobatics. What is his last slot? Could be Outrage. Could be Earthquake. Could be Protect for Slitherwing. Could be Substitute. I don't think Outrage is the last. I don't think it's Outrage. Well, we're going to see. Yep, he makes the right play. We should see a Terra Draco come off here. If it's a Bond... oh, no, it's Booster. It's not Bond, yeah. Yeah, no, we should be okay here. Let's see. Draco. Please, Draco. Okay, Draco comes off. Nice. Nice animation. Wait, so his Necrozma didn't even Terra. Yo, Protect. Okay, so it's Protect for first impression. Makes sense. So I believe he's only Knockoff Acrobatic, so we should live this Knockoff. There's no, right? There's no way this... We have to hit Draco, though. Oh my god, please don't miss, bro. Knockoff, 46. Draco. Nice, baby. Yep, that should be the game. What was the last Pokemon? Empoleon? I didn't even see the Terra on Necrozma. I'm going to have to ask him after. It must have not been a type that resisted fire, though, because he would have Terra'd, obviously, versus a Ninetales. But, yeah, we just go Uxie here is nice, and then we could just Encore, yep, into Grass Knot. Nice. Nice, dude. Well played, dude. This is good. He's making the right plays. Encore lock, and then he could just U-turn into Ninetales and just kill him. He's locked into Grass Knot. Or he can U-turn. Is there anything that can kill him faster? Nah, Meowscarada dies to Grass Knot, so does Wake. So, yeah, no, this is correct. Nice. Flamethrower just wins the game. Well played, dude. A nice, what was it, 4-0 victory versus a guy that was, what, 3-0, I think? Really well played, man. That, like I said before, I'm glad I made those changes. Holy shit. The moon was just so scary. Like, had he gotten a crit, had he had Outrage, like any of those things, had Wake even taken a little bit of chip, that Roaring Moon just wins the game. But, yeah, no, he was able to pull it out. I'm really glad how he played. I'm glad the team worked out. So Thank you guys a ton for watching. Again, if you guys want to be part of the series, just join the Discord down below and simply sign up in the Team Building with Zooch channel. I'm actually only down to like 5 or 4 people left, so, and I'm trying to do at least 1 a week, maybe even 2 a week now, so since I'm not in anything. But so the queue might be ending soon, so I'll probably get the people that were already on here back on if they want, and we'll go from there. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later.